So that's the last part of the making of. I'm gonna talk about lighting. So I'm gonna hide a few things to explain you. Uh, so this box I created for object properties. Okay. So this box I created for creating this shadow on the character. So while lighting my scene, I was kind of moving around and trying to find like the exact spot I wanted. And this element here I used for create a kind of spotlight for my light. I can so in the first renders I had like exactly the spotlight going in here, but then after I moved, you can see that there's a light changing here. Not only on not only in the light aspect, but also reflection. So this change was I ended up like open a little more the spot in the lower area. So for lighting, I'm using V-Ray lights. So I have a very small lighting here with a very neutral color. And then I have a bigger area light with a more saturated. The reason I'm using that is for creating this kind of variation on the shadow, you know, that gives a kind of a more natural effect in the light. Otherwise, it will look too much CG. You can also plug a texture in here that helps a lot. Uh, and I'm using a V-Ray dome light with HDRI, like a random sky, something like that. From the lighting perspective, I guess that's it. It's very simple setup. Rendering, it's nothing fancy, just oh yeah, it's cool. That's something super fancy. For the final one, I went brute force. That gives nice details, nice contact shadows with the elements, and nice. It's the best you can get from V-Rays by using brute force on the GI. So as it's a personal project, I could do whatever I want. And it's only one image, and I let it render overnight. And I used a progressive render because I knew I had one day to render, one night, because the other day I had to deliver. So I let it run overnight, and then when I woke up was kind of okay. Uh, so it's so bad when you have like you let it run for a few hours and then you have one area that didn't render, you know. So the cool thing of using progressive is you can get the overall, and then you get more resolution on the overall and not only one area. Uh, Nothing else. It's very V-Ray is very straightforward nowadays. I'm gonna show you like the comp work I did. It looks complex, but it's not. So I have my raw rendering here. That's what I got straight from V-Ray. Uh, what I did here, it's a little tricky that I use. So I use a normal map, normal pass, and then I add a hue saturation with a channel mixer in monochrome, and then you can play with the light. You know, if you come here in the hue saturation, you can change it and you can relight some stuff. That's very useful. So I using add just a little very low percentage, and on top I added some color like to make it more yellowish. Added some little glow here in close to the face, make it a little brighter, this area, oversaturated a little, made the ground a little more dark, a little darker, just to get a more occlusion. And let's see what we have in here. Oh, it's a lot of stuff. So kind of color bleeding in this area, added some darkness in the edge. I don't know what it does, but it kind of makes a little more blue. Made it a little more dark in the edge. I use a lot of this color lookup, you know, it's kind of the Instagram filters in Photoshop, you know, it gives a more like interesting colors based on real presets. You know, this preset is from Kodak, and you have a lot of different stuff, Fuji. There, this one brings a little more contrast. This one makes the image a little more bluish. This one removes the. It's just funny because when you're comping stuff, you kind of create one adjustment to make brighter, and then you create another one on top that makes it darker. So all my comps are like that, you know. So yeah, that's what I saw. That's what I told you. That this one makes it brighter, and this make it more contrasted. It's just kind of messy process for me comping. This one makes this area a little more brighter. Removed a little desaturation, more contrast, made it yellowish. So this one, I have a photo filter in here that makes it blue, and then I have another one making it yellow. It's silly. Another one removing the contrast. Another one putting contrast. More contrast. Then I got a note from Rob that he wanted the face to be a little brighter. So I made this curve in here, little adjustment. Remove a little the saturation, and this one I use selective color, and I play it a little with the blacks just to make a little bluish. And that's the final comp. That's I guess the process was straight, kind of straight, you know, because I had a lot of stuff to figure out, but maybe that will give idea how things works for me. You know, it's not like a straight line. It's not like something that I have in mind since the beginning. Every project, it seems, I kind of freak out until I find a base that will work in the final, you know. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will get to this moment, you know, to this point where you think, oh man, that sucks. That is not cool, and I hate it. But then if you push it hard, you know, eventually it's gonna pay off, you know. And it's been a while that I don't do personal projects because I got super busy with commercial. So nowadays I'm freelancing for animation studios, and it's taking pretty much all my time. So that this one was a project that I really enjoyed, that I really took my time to do it, and I'm really proud of. And I hope that gives you like an idea, and I hope it helps overall, you know. Feel free to send me an emails. I will write my email in here, so you can find more stuff about myself. So that's my website. Oh no, it's missing the. And that's my email. If you have any questions or something that I can help, just drop me a line. It might take me some time to reply to you, but I will try to go through and reply all of them. Okay, thank you so much, and bye-bye.